Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of Let's Get It Ron. Yes, I like to use a pun whenever I possibly can. Today's episode is going to be with Trace Beaulieu from Mystery Science Theater 3000, Cinematic Titanic, Freaks and Geeks, Other Space. Let's see, what else? Oh, and currently the Mads are back. Him and Frank Conniff are back out on the road riffing in a theater near you. Don't forget to check them out in St. Louis this Friday. Just head over to themadsareback.com for all the information and tickets and everything. It was a fun chat, and I'm going to forewarn you a little bit before I get into anything else that there are a few audio issues, as there will be when you're back in the game. So just bear with me for that. However, most everything that needs to be said is said, and you can make it out. And we answered the age-old question, is Trace going to be involved in the MST3K reboot? The answer is going to be after the intro. But I just want you to listen to this and have a good time. People are asking why I changed everything up. I'm starting over again. I kind of wanted to for a while. The Ron Purtee Show kind of had run its course, especially when you have one of those last names where people can't pronounce it. And it just, I don't know, this is a fun name, and I want to thank Mark Shepard for coming up with it. Credit where credit's due. And I also want to thank Patreon, the folks over at Patreon, in particular, one of the my patrons, Becky Finney Stead. Steed, I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, Becky, please don't yell too much at me, I guess. But there's a whole list of new things online. We don't have a Facebook page set up yet, and there's no... we're working on the iTunes stuff, but I'll get into that after the interview. Just after the music, Trace Beaulieu. Okay, and so now, Trace, welcome, I guess, back?
Hey, Ron. Hey, let's all clear our throats.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Phlegm Wars.
Directed by J.J. Abrams.
Yes, or my one-man show, Phlegm Kadiddlehopper. That's just for the old people who know what I'm talking about.
Is that also directed by J.J. Abrams?
It's directed by a guy named JJ. That's all we know about him.
Jimmy Walker?
Oh, we wish. No, that's all he says. You know, we pick him up at the parking lot of Home Depot, and that's where we get all our crew.
Now, let's get it right out of the way, because everybody seems to be asking you this question. You seem to have to answer every single person that asks, because they can't seem to get it through their head. Your involvement in the reboot of MST3K, yes or no?
I am not involved in the reboot of MST3K.
And you were asked, I assume?
I was asked. I was presented an offer with dollar amounts and requirements of what would be needed of my services, and I declined the offer. So there should be no more confusion.
There you go. It's all settled right here, folks.
Yeah, exactly. It's all settled. There's no more talking about it because it's the internet, and people go, oh, yeah, I'm completely satisfied with that answer.
But you wish them all the best.
Yes, exactly. Now let's move on to gun control.
Yes, of course. Now, do you think... No. So I was also wondering, how did the Mads Are Back come about? Did you just feel the need to tour again, or...
That was a very organic thing, and it just happened to come about at the right time. Frank had gotten an offer to do a show at an atheist convention back in April, and he's not an atheist, but as he will say, he's a big fan of blasphemy. And it's, so he called me up and said, hey, they want us to riff on, this movie What do you think? I go, oh, that could be interesting. Yeah, sure, let's do that. So that was kind of our informal introduction, and then Frank got another gig offer in Denver at the Voodoo Comedy Lounge, and he said, "Hey, let's riff on a movie there." And I go, "Okay, that sounds like fun." And then we've just been building dates based on that. It's all been fan support, grassroots fan support, the way we like it. So without doing much on our part at all, other than, writing the movie and showing up and performing it, it's been so fan driven. It's so much fun.
Now, do you, obviously you probably want to go to all the places you can go, but do you have places in particular that you absolutely want to hit?
We will go anywhere, anytime. We would love to explore new territory. We'd also like to go back to like Milwaukee. We're talking with folks in Milwaukee about coming back there, and Seattle is we're discussing dates and times with Seattle and Portland. We have a very good friend and fan of ours in Portland who is putting together dates for us. So it's and new places we haven't thought of. There's a lot of places where people would like to tell us to go, and that's okay too.
Now, are you guys doing movies that you've done before, or is it all strictly new films?
It's all new films.
Oh,
all new films. And we kind of keep what we're going to do at each venue quiet until we actually decide what we're going to do.
Oh, wow. That'd be great to walk in there and not know exactly what you're about to see.
Yeah, well, we had a show in Cleveland, and the film we were going to do was a little bit risque subject matter, and we noticed there was a kid in the audience, little kid. So we switched it over to something more spacey and science fiction-y, and it's nice to be able to be that flexible, and I think the parents and fans appreciate that too.
Now, were you guys that kind of flexible when it came to, say, Cinematic Titanic at all, or was it pretty much this is what movie you're going to get, you get what you're going to get?
There we were playing the same city so many times that we developed quite a library of films that we could pull on so that we weren't repeating so much.
Uh-huh. I felt so. Oh, go ahead.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Whenever I watch the live East Meets Watts,
mm-hmm.
I always feel bad for Frank because he always gets spit on.
Yeah, placement was bad for Frank, but that was so much fun to do, and I think we would try to aim our spewage towards our friends sometimes, just to make it more interesting. And
yeah, it was definitely a little. I know when I first saw it, hearing that word,
yeah,
just kind of like, oh my God, they didn't even bleep it; they let it go out, and
yeah, we kind of had a long discussion about that. What can we do? It's a pretty offensive movie, from that standpoint. But we have to deal with it. And do we edit it? Do we just take that out, or how do we deal with it? Because we never addressed it until we got to the theater and went, oh, you know what? That's probably not going to be a great thing to do. So, and it was a great solution. It was fun, and it was a great way to handle that moment.
Now, when it comes to writing, you guys you and Frank don't live in the same place, and I remember hearing something about how that's kind of what kind of put the kibosh on Cinematic Titanic in a way, because everybody was spread across the country and writing was difficult.
Yeah.
How do you guys work around that now?
We live in different parts of the country, and we write in different locations, and then when we get together in a town, we rehearse. Very similar to Cinematic Titanic. I don't think that wasn't the only reason we stopped touring, but that was the one we cited because it's the easiest to explain, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, it's the way of the future. It's people live in all parts of the country. You just deal with it. We all have internet. We all have Skype. So that's not really an excuse anymore.
No, but you can say it is.
Yeah, yeah. We're all from the Midwest, and we're extremely polite. So when people see us now touring, you go, "Hey, I thought you said that was hard." I go, "Yeah, we say a lot of things."
Would you like some of our Midwest cheese, or perhaps a beer?
Yeah.
So you'll forget about what I said.
Yeah, something to keep your mouth working, so you're not saying what you think. As in one of the shorts, the comment is emotions are for ethnic people, and only people from the Midwest could have come up with that line.
This is very true. This is very true, and that's something that I have hesitation about when it comes to the reboot. And I've said this online, so I'm not breaking any new ground when I say this. Is that the original series, even after Joel left and Mike came in and everything, still had that Midwest sensibility about it.
Well, we're all from there, and we made a conscious decision to go, hey, we grew up listening to East Coast and West Coast references. Let's put a stamp on where we live, because it's just as funny, and people really responded to that, So instead of doing a funny town name in New Jersey, we'd talk about Sheboygan. And
there's so much to say about Sheboygan. It's the Florida of Wisconsin.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's bad.
There's an ad that plays on. I listen to Wisconsin Public Radio all the time, and there's an ad that plays that goes, "How do you Sheboygan?"
You don't want a Sheboygan.
Yeah, I just love that. I think it was Gruber who pointed out that Sheboygan is a built-in Jerry Lewis word. It's just you can't say it without saying Jerry, thinking Jerry Lewis.
Oh, very true, very true. And then the higher up you go in the state, the crazier the words become. And so
we all love Wisconsin. I live as close as you can to Wisconsin without actually being there.
So you want the Wisconsin sensibility, but you don't actually want to step on the soil.
Yeah, well, I do. One of my favorite hardware stores is there, and of course, you can buy beer on Sunday.
You can't do that where you're at?
No, Minnesota. We're very Lutheran here.
Wow. Next thing you know, it's going to be sheets between people when it's time to copulate.
Yeah, we do that. More plywood than.
That's kind of smart.
Well,
I don't even want to think about that now. It's like, it's hard enough when you watch somebody get hit there. And then just to think about that now, it's just splinters.
Yeah, I put some bad images maybe in people's heads.
Well, now you're just giving people ideas. Some jackass is going to be like, "Oh, he said it on that podcast, so I'm going to try it. It's got to work, right?"
Yeah, then he'll sue me. Hey, I didn't work.
Time for back to Phlegm Wars.
Phlegm Wars, yes.
Yes, but now you also your book is out. Silly Rhymes for Belligerent Children.
Yep.
How's that been doing?
That's been doing great. It's been out for a couple years now. Len and I are noodling around with another edition of that, and we'll see, if through our schedules we can make that work. So it's the touring. The Mads are back. And the book is out. And Frank's got a podcast that you should check out. It's Podhouse 90. And I think he's got 4 episodes up. They're hour-long comedy variety radio shows, and they are for free on whatever the iTunes thing is, which is outrageously generous of Frank to put them up for free.
This show's free too, so you guys should be nice. I'm giving you free stuff.
We like free stuff.
Exactly. Now, last time I talked to you was right before, you couldn't talk too much about it, but right before the Frank came out.
Oh, yeah. The Frank was video, kind of a love letter to the fans, the Mystery Science fans. I've always wanted to do have Frank Conniff as Frankenstein's monster, and I always thought we could do that with the Mads, but we never could, and there was always rights issues. So I really wanted to do this project and use as many of the Mystery Science Theater cast and crew as I could assemble, and it really became just kind of a party that we put on tape, and that's still available, I think, through Amazon.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna have to when we get off here. I'm gonna have to make a purchase.
It's a lot of fun, and I don't have it up anywhere digitally. I mean, that's the way to do stuff, but I haven't done that yet.
Well, it's worth a buy. I mean, there's 40 minutes worth of bonus features, and now the TV guys are involved in that as well, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I really like Gordon and his crew and their sensibilities, and we're actually working on a show together now.
Vermin.
Called Vermin. That's a lot of the TV crew, and so that I think we're going to start filming that in January.
And you play a scientist. That's a stretch for you.
Yeah, I get to be on the other side of the robot conversation this time, which I'm very looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun. I play a scientist. I don't know if I'm a good scientist or a bad scientist yet. Knowing me, I probably won't be too competent. But that should be a lot of fun. That's successfully kickstarted, and they weren't asking for a lot of money. So a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and heart and generosity going into that project.
And the Kickstarter pitch video was quite possibly funnier than anything else I've seen on TV in a long time. So you guys, if the pitch video is that funny, the show's got to be hilarious.
Well, yeah, that's all those guys. That's the writers and the puppeteers. So I hope it works and picked up. You never know. It's always, hey, let's make something in the spirit of making things, and hopefully people like them.
Yeah, it's always fun to create, and sometimes you just have to forget what that there's people out there who are going to be judging it and watching it, and just do it because you're having a good time.
Exactly. Yeah, we all want to work with each other, and I like the rough and tumble spirit of like the early Mystery Science days. Were so much fun because there were, we hadn't figured it out. We're just all contributing to it, and it was so much fun to do. So I like that spirit in a project. And there's another project I should tell you about too.
Oh,
it's been working with again some of the cast and crew of Mystery Science Theater, and also some other directors, producers here in Minneapolis, and we're working on a sitcom that is based around the Renaissance Festival.
Oh boy!
And it features Mary Jo Pehl and myself and Dave Gruber Allen, who you might know from Freaks and Geeks and opening for us on Cinematic Titanic and being in the Frank. Yep. So we're always working on something, and that we shot a sizzle reel last August, and we hope to be bringing that out to the world fairly soon. We're gonna, with some kind of funding or begging or whatever we have to do.
Now, would you say that that you guys have become kind of an I don't want to say impromptu, but like a makeshift family in a way?
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. We were all friends first, and then colleagues, and then former colleagues, I guess. But we all enjoyed each other's company and working with each other, and at various times it just got, we all opted to go away and do other things, but finding an excuse to get back together is always, out there.
Oh, of course. And you're, I think we talked about this before, but you're, do you still talk to the guys over at Rip Tracks at all, or no?
Oh yeah. Bill Corbett and Frank and I did a Salt Lake City Con, this fall together. I see Bill quite a bit. They just did their Riff Tracks live Fathom event with Ice Cream Bunny.
Yep.
That last night or the night before?
I think it was Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen their live show of Sharknado. It's a great time. You should support all the riffing ventures. That's what I say.
Because everybody always seems to say, remember back in the day it was, is it Mike or Joel who was better? Now it's Riff Tracks or Cinematic Titanic, and now a lot of people are you have like saying you have to choose a side, but why? Just enjoy it all.
Yeah, no, we never were advocates of choosing between any of it. It's like, hey, we're doing this and they're doing that, and there's 100 of other riffing groups across the country. If you like that format of comedy, then support it all. I got no truck with any of it. It's all good for everyone.
Have they ever approached you to come and do a Riff Tracks, like because they have guests on and stuff, or?
The offer's been made, and it just happened to be bad timing for Frank and I because we were just starting up with the Mads, and wanted to kind of get that established before we, actually took them up on their offer. But I hope the offer's still out there, and at some point we can make that work, make some kind of mega riff or something.
It would blow the fans' minds.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. We'd have to do like some kind of WWE kind of tagging in thing, just to get everyone to participate.
This is very true. Now, I've made it known that my favorite moment from MST3K is your departure. Not because you were leaving, but because
that's everyone's favorite moment. They love it when I leave.
It was just the way that you guys handled it. And who in the writers' room? Who came up with the idea to 2001 it?
I don't know. I think it's hard to go back and say, oh, that was one person. Because it was a writers' room, so it was everybody contributing and going, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Let's do that. And then some suggested bringing my dad in as me as old. That wasn't nepotism. That just that came from the room.
Well, it was a smart move.
But we were all big fans of 2001. Yeah, it was fun to do, and it was we tried some new things that were still kind of goofy special effects in camera stuff that we'd been wanting to try for a while. Very controversial at the time, using a beam splitter to do those cheesy in-camera effects, but it didn't kill the show.
No, it didn't. And I love how Mary Jo went from being a trucker to a mad scientist in.
Yeah, we played around a lot with her character. We didn't quite know where that was landing, but I think she ultimately found a good place with it.
Well, fantastic. Well, folks, go to Amazon and pick up the book and pick up the Frank and check out the Mads Are Back on Facebook. I think you have the madsareback.com now.
Yep. We're filling it in as quickly as we can. It's happening so fast, which is very exciting. And it's truly is a creation of the fans that we are doing this. So we are not smart enough to do it on our own. And I think the fans of the show have understood that, and they go, "Hey, we just want to see you guys riffing on something, so we'll help you get there," and that's very cool. So, also I should mention,
yes,
Frank Conniff is on Sirius XM radio every day on channel 121 on John Fugelsang's show "Tell Me Everything."
Oh, there you go.
Central Time, I believe it's 1 o'clock to 4. On the East Coast, it's whatever they do with their clocks. So
I don't know. Yeah, they do something weird with them.
Adjust accordingly if you want to listen. But that's really fun. They got some great guests, and it's fun to listen to Frank and John hashing over the day's events.
And that's what I love about people from the Midwest. You're promoting his stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He also has Cartoon Dump, I think, Monday night. First
Oh,
Monday of every month in Astoria, Queens, at the QED.
there you go, folks. He used to be out in L.A. and did that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
See,
We
Cartoon
we do
Dump.
a couple of the cartoons from Cartoon Dump in our Mad show.
And how long of a show do you guys do?
It's about 2 hours. You know, it feels longer. Um, but it's about 2 hours. You know, getting in, getting out. We don't hide backstage. We're very upfront with being available for people to sign stuff or take pictures, both before and after the show. So that's our thank you to people for showing up and plunking down their hard-earned money. So we don't do a VIP section. We figure everyone who comes to our show is a VIP.
Well, there you go, folks. Just enjoy it the way it is.
We got a tater tot hot dish that we like to pass around.
The shows in the East Coast are gonna be potluck.
Yes, yes. Maybe at one of our shows we'll do a potluck and have everybody bring their favorite.
Oh man, that would not end well, I don't think.
It might end in napping.
Food babies and food comas.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I didn't even see the show. I saw full of hot dish. Oh man, did you try the pea hot dish? The peas are great.
Oh, I had some lutefisk and that just put me out.
Oh man, that's the one thing I've never tried.
Yeah, neither have I. I just know that it smells horrible.
Yeah, it's the go-to. I don't want that thing.
Whenever there's leftovers at a potluck, that's what's going home with somebody.
Yeah, it's the go-to go away from food.
Ugh, just thinking about it's kind of gross. But Trace, thank you so much for coming back on, and I'll have to come out to when you guys come to Milwaukee, and it'll be a blast.
Are you in?
I'm in Racine.
You're in Racine. Okay, so not too far.
No, not at all. So
we're talking about a bunch of dates in the Wisconsin area. We'd love to play Madison, Milwaukee. We will probably be going back to Chicago in the spring. We were just there at the At North Bar. So yeah, we're on the move. We're on the road.
Awesome. And be sure to check out themadsareback.com and on Facebook and all that. Everything else we talked about, kids. And we'll be right back. So that was a lot of fun. Be sure to head over to themadsareback.com and check out all the information for their date in St. Louis this Friday. I will be at Blankfest Wisconsin 9 in Racine, Wisconsin. I'll be performing Friday and kind of just hanging around Saturday. It's at McCullough's Pub, 3700 Meacham Road in Racine, Wisconsin, if you're in the southeastern Wisconsin area. It's a benefit for the homeless. This is the 9th year I've been putting it on, and it's a lot of fun. Every shelter now gets something. So that's a good thing. But the only way to get in is bring a blanket or a bag of toiletries, like deodorant or toothpaste or some kind of feminine hygiene product. The pad variety, I believe, is what they're looking for. I'm not a female, so I would not know of these things. But you head over to Blankfest. Just type in Wisconsin, Blankfest Wisconsin 2015 on the Facebook, and all the information should be there if you're interested in going. Also, head over to Twitter, at Let's Get It Ron is the new Twitter. And the show is going to be up temporarily, or I don't know how long, up on podcasts.com. So the link will be on Twitter, so be sure to check that out. And I want to thank everybody for listening. If this is your first time, thank you for tuning in. Head over to patreon.com/Ron Purtee and help out a little bit if you can. Not asking for the world, but I'm trying real hard to get your love.